This is the Delilah Show. What can I do for you? So what kind of care are you in now?
Foster care.
You're in foster care. So was that because your home life wasn't a good place for you to be? What can I do for you?
Oh, I just want to play a favorite song to my sweetie.
Serious illness as in it'll go away in a few days, or serious illness as in it won't?
It's cancer. Cancer.
These are the radio waves of Delilah. 5 hours of live dedications.
I will play a song for you, all right?
Yeah,
What's your mama's name?
Teresa.
Opinions
I can tell you, giving birth is easier than forgiving somebody who's hurt you.
and encouragement.
I will support you in your decision if it's a well-informed one, but I think that you should do one thing, Carol Ann. I think you should get on the phone and call everybody you know and ask them to pray for you.
And the song.
All this mixed with the songs of what the radio industry calls adult contemporary music. In a medium used to shock jocks and conservative talk show hosts, Delilah's homespun approach is the alternative. It's an approach that's earned Delilah the title Angel of the Airwaves.
I try to keep focused on making people's lives better.
Can you play a song for my mom and dad?
What do you want to tell your mama and your daddy?
That I love them?
Makes her sound like she's the girl next door, when in actuality, the great city of Seattle in the Pacific Northwest is home.
Listeners across the country can't get enough of Delilah. By the way, that's her real name. Every day she receives thousands of phone calls and emails. She answers as many as she can.
Oh my God, it is you.
Well, you called me, you knucklehead. Who the heck did you think you were going to get, Rush Limbaugh?
I think I'd get through.
I love the fact that within, 30 seconds of somebody dialing the phone, I can be talking with them, getting their story, connecting with them on some level, and within a minute or two, that'll be broadcast. Well, let me try to find a special...
Delilah's unique ability to connect with her listeners is why the people that work with her say her program is a success.
Oh, I think she's 1 in 1,000. She's a natural communicator.
They just trust her and they start talking about things that they would never say to their own families or friends, but they feel like, this is somebody who's going to listen to me and take me seriously. And she does.
I'm honest with people, when somebody calls and starts going on and on about, my wife cheated on me and left me and blah, blah, blah. It's like, I know what that's like because I've made those mistakes and I've had people do those things to me. I wouldn't want to be in
Delilah's not afraid to talk about those experiences over the air. A childhood affected by alcoholism, a love of painting, a failed first marriage, single parenthood, and living from paycheck to paycheck to keep a job she loves.
I don't think people are surprised. I think they're surprised if I didn't. When somebody reaches out and trusts you to share something from their heart and they don't get a response, I think that would be a bigger surprise or letdown. I've been waiting and waiting and waiting.
Radio stations are responding too.
She's able to meld the talk, the stories, the listener communication with the music in a way that nobody else, I think, is doing in the markets across the country.
When we hit 12 stations, man, my dream had come true. I was like, okay, now what do I do? God's fulfilled every one of my professional dreams. Then we hit 50 stations and my mind was spinning.
Delilah is now on 170 stations nationwide, a far cry from the 12 stations that carried her program just 3 years ago. And musicians like John Tesh regularly contact her about playing their songs. Delilah, her producer Jane, and associate producer Peter, with help from Lucky Dog, run the show every night from a small 2-room studio. The hardest part of the job? Finding the perfect song for a listener and pleasing the program directors that want certain songs played. Delilah's staff says it helps that she knows every sappy love song ever recorded.
Could you tell me who sings that song?
It is Aaron Neville and Linda Ronstadt.
Actually, Delilah's program isn't new. She first developed it 14 years ago. It wasn't until she moved to Seattle with a new company that it took off.
And this was the first year in my life where, I didn't have to buy mac and cheese for dinner every night. But I'm still driving a 10-year-old car with over 100,000 miles on it, and we still live in a house that's only 1,800 square feet.
No secret to Delilah's listeners, she shares that house with her husband and 3 children. Number 4 is on the way. She spends as much time with her family as she can, and the rest with her listeners.
There's only so much of me to go around, and that's the hardest part.
Her listeners don't seem to mind.
It's very much still me, and should the day ever come when it's not, I won't be here. This is the Delilah Show. What can I do for you?
Oh, first of all, your show is just absolutely incredible.
In Seattle, Mindy Bach, Fox 40 News.
I wanted to tell you It's wonderful.
Well, thank you. You know what, Carrie? I don't think you can ever get too many compliments. Especially as often as I hear just the opposite from people who